and gentlemen, to the Angus Glen Community Centre for Day 4 of the Central Region Championships. Day 4, also known as Moving Day, here inside of Markham, Ontario, as Game 1 on the docket features the Ottawa Myers Automotive taking on the North Bay Trappers. Both of these teams sit outside of the playoff picture. However, the winner could propel themselves right back into the thick of things. Why is today called Moving Day? The 1 and 2 teams play, the 3 and 4 teams play, and the 5 and 6 teams play. So we expect a lot of motion in the standings. Thank you all for joining us here today. The matinee slate, I'm Mitch Kane, bringing you today's action as we'll quickly throw a look at the standings to get a better picture for the viewers at home. Here's a look at the congested picture. The Toronto Titans, the lone team with 3 regulation wins. They sit atop the table with 9 points. They take on the Waterloo Wolves at 3:30. Today's game between the North Bay Trappers and Ottawa Myers Automotive, a big one, has elimination stakes on the line, and the nightcap, the Markham Waxers and the North Shore Whitecaps, the battle of the OMHA. The top 2 teams, Toronto Titans and Waterloo Wolves, have officially qualified for the weekend, but positioning not set yet. Today should shake things up, as we'll find out a lot more with 2 days left here in the preliminary rounds of the Central Region Championship. We'll now throw it down to ice level for the playing of the anthem as well as player introductions. The starting goaltender tonight for Ottawa Myers Automotive, Matthias D'Souza. 1 game in the tournament, he's 0-1 with a 3.05 goals against average and an .897 save percentage. Starting in front of D'Souza, it's Turnbull and Tetzlaff on the back end, and a bit of a different look up front as Seth Madge, the captain, joins Jack Melandra alongside Ben Carr. On the other end for the North Bay Trappers in goal is number 29, Carson Ruddy. He had an off game yesterday as he got thrown in relief against the Waterloo Wolves, an 0-1 record with a 7.23 goals against average and an .815 save percentage. Starting in front of Ruddy tonight, up front, it's Fournier, Siegel, and Popke, the line we've seen all tournament long, with Gravel and Synot on the back end. Aiden Bahari makes his long-awaited debut in the tournament. The right shot defenseman from Powassan, Ontario, looking to provide a spark for this North Bay Trappers team as they will look to get things going. Tetzlaff brings it around as Turnbull picks it up first. Puck high up and out of play as when speaking with Josh Dale, as Bahari comes into the lineup, he says he's the assistant captain, brings a lot of energy. He's a good puck mover. He's got a little razzle-dazzle to him. So we'll see if the razzle-dazzle helps propel this Trappers offense after a rough game yesterday, losing 9-1 against the Waterloo Wolves. As a long shot in is bouncing around in the slot. Montroy moving it forward. Starcevic can't get the puck. Long shot in from the point, misses wide of the target as LaFontaine on it first. He'll slap it to the near side corner where it'll be picked up by Montroy. He cycles it to the front of the net as Carr picks it up. It's tapped in front as Turnbull takes Starcevic into the boards. Puck's moved up and it clears the line. Synot will be back first to it. Play will go for icing as the faceoff comes all the way back. Josh Dale also mentioned that they want to use yesterday's game for fuel today. They had an off day. He felt the team gave up in the third period. They surrendered 6 goals in the third period, and Waterloo would go on to go 5 for 7 on the power play in that game. Looking for a much better special teams result as this one, the exit pass doesn't clear as Popke try and pick it up at the side of the goal. Siegel behind the net. He'll swing it up to the point. Long shot in, misses wide of the target. Fournier from a sharp angle. Couldn't get it through Tetzlaff. Puck moving forward, held at the line momentarily as Tetzlaff will corral it. Turnbull looking for the exit pass. Popke takes it into the corner as Melandra escapes. Ottawa looking for a forward change here as Sloan, the only new body out there, as he'll go in on the chase against Hanem. This one chopped at as Siegel recovers first, has it on his own blue line as he moves it forward. A nice knockdown by Fournier as the Trappers are on side. It'll be played to the open corner as Bahari goes for a skate back to neutral as Sloan picks it up, tries to go through Grant as it's knocked off the puck. Moved over the middle as Presley Kelly into the offensive zone, one of the leaders of the tournament with 7 points to this point. Bangs in the offensive end. He gets stripped of the puck. He'll be moved up the near side as Presley Kelly fires it back in, up and over the head of Buckman as he'll be retreated back out to center by the Trappers. Kelly, the defensive point leader of the Central Region Championship, chips it off the glass as O'Neill holds it at the line. Bouncing puck to the corner. Buckman on it first. He has his pocket picked as Bangs will take it in the near side corner. He cycles it down low. Comes up high. Kelly walks the line. Fires a shot in up and over the target. O'Neill on it first. O'Neill chips it off the boards as bouncing puck gets tied up on the far side as North Bay's able to move it back out to center. They go for a wholesale change. Presley Kelly sees a lane. Gets it off to Sloan. To the backhand. A tuck shot in as it's stopped by Ruddy. Puck goes behind the goal. Sloan. He'll move it behind his back as chops it back towards the corner. A swinging shot out front is blocked away as stepping up on it first is Synot as it'll be flipped out into Ottawa territory as that one will go for an icing call. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Shots 1-0 in favor of Ottawa in the early going. Face-off one to the point as they'll be ringed around the boards. Tie up in the corner as it comes free. Grant in on the check as he'll move it back up the near side board. North Bay with it in transition. Synot chips and chase, the great offensive defenseman for the Trappers as it gets caught up in the feet. This one will be quickly chipped off the boards as Surdock controls. Surdock off the boards. It'll be played forward, but right into the slot. It's turned over and it'll move to open space where Culbert looks to get to it first. Montroy bounced off the puck as Kelly retreats as Hodges with the steal, but it's turned over as Stobernak can't clear the line. Kept in at the point by Kobe Gravel. Gravel 16 points on the season. And we moved over to the far side. Stobernak in with the burst speed. Makes one man miss. Stobernak into the zone. Tries to toe drag it around. But couldn't get it all the way through. With it now, Bahari. He sees a lane. Bahari takes it across the line as he'll go into the offensive end as he just peels off the puck. Madge looking for the chip play as the top line out for the Trappers. Played behind the net. Fournier with it. Looking over his options, has nothing, trying to work it up to the point, but he has it stripped away by Melandra. And here goes Ottawa in transition. Melandra with Madge. Melandra to Madge. Backdoor feed, can't get it through as Hanam, a good defensive stick to break up the rush. North Bay the other way. Popke moves it forward. Siegel, 2-on-2 across the line. Long shot in as Fournier's shot is turned away by D'Souza. Popke with a good backhand touch feed to Siegel. Siegel able to work it through the stick of Tetzlaff and free up Fournier for a good shooting lane. William Fournier, 27 goals in the regular season in the Northern Ontario Hockey Association, but held off the score sheet. Just 2 assists so far for the talented forward. Is going the other way is Liam Hayes. He fires a shot turned away by Ruddy as he was looking for the rebound on the backhand, couldn't capitalize. Moving with speed the other way, across the line, Starcevic now. He'll ring it around, looking for Montroy. Montroy, backhand feed, looking for LaFontaine in the slot, but can't feed it out front of the net. Turnbull works it to the near side. As stumbling, losing control of the puck, it's bounced right into the slot. Starcevic looking to pick it up, can't gain it as LaFontaine turns and fires, but it's turned over to Hayes. Long lead feed, Hayes in alone, breakaway chance to the backhand forehand, and he runs in hard to the goal. As 2 players collide in the net trying to spring Liam Hayes free. Couldn't get a clean shot off as both players pop right back up. The officials will put the net back in. Liam Hayes, the assistant captain, 3 assists on the tournament. He showcased some blazing speed throughout the week. No goals to this point for the talented forward. Ottawa with the offensive zone draw as it'll be played behind the net. Sign on with a burst of speed, moves it up over the middle, gets deflected as Kelly moves it far side, but Windle offside as faceoff will be coming all the way back. Ottawa, first game of the tournament, an overtime loss against the Waterloo Wolves, 7-6, followed up by 2 consecutive regulation losses to the OMHA representatives in Markham and North Shore. While on the other end, North Bay got their tournament off to a bang, defeating the hosts in overtime by a score of 4-3, followed up by 2 losses, a close game against the Toronto Titans, and then a 9-1 loss yesterday against Waterloo. Josh Dale said his team's never experienced a game like that. As Kelly across the line, he fires a shot that's deflected wide at the target. One played behind the net, a rush in as Stobernak first to it, a deflection in front, couldn't get it on target. A nice move, a low lining shot missing wide at the target as it's held in at the line. It'll be played once again down low. That's pinned off on the near side. It'll be tapped forward as Bahari goes in, tries to deliver the reverse check, but he gets pinned to the boards by Bradford. He'll be played around the weak side. Bubblicious holds it in at the line as it's left in the slot, but can't clear the line. North Bay starting the breakout. Long lead feed. It's knocked down over the middle as Fournier was nearly sprung on a break. Windle to the weak side. Carr. He fires a shot scooped up by Ruddy. Ottawa upping the offensive pressure in the last few minutes or so. This puck stoppage is brought to you by Baron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Baron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Ottawa wins the draw as Melandra works it to the goal line, trying to center it for Carr as he gets bumped off the puck. Madge, he gets tied up. Stick right in the body, no call as Montroy goes below the goal line. Montroy's centering pass is blocked by the skates of O'Neill as he'll chip it around Starcevic. But first to it, Bahari. He gets bumped off the puck as Ottawa can't clear the line. Montroy holds it in and fires it back in deep. Surdok tries to chip it around Starcevic, but Starcevic holding his own. Madge looks to clear the line. LaFontaine picked his pocket, but the puck does escape to center. LaFontaine. O'Neill with it behind his own net. He sees some skating spaces. A long lead feed for Madge as it'll be tipped into the offensive end. Puck played forward as on the outside. Culbert tries a toe drag through. Makes a nice move. Excuse me, that's Matthias Moore. Moore on the puck. Let me knock down low. As coming away with it there is Hayes as he just tries to flail it out to center. Back on the rush is Grant. Grant across the line to the backhand. Moves it over the slot. Moore, a nice move, but stopped by D'Souza. Matthias Moore showcasing the soft hands, able to pull that back in the slot. Here's the replay. Grant dumps it off to his line mate, and Moore got freed up. Got the good shooting lane. But D'Souza stands tall to the task. Sloan kicked from the draw. Liam Hayes comes in. Popke, he scoops it up first. Kelly being hounded as Fournier goes into the corner. Kelly, he comes away with it, is down to his feet, but back up quickly. DiNardo. That one tipped high by Fournier. No eye stick the call. Ottawa tags first. Kelly drops it off. Moved right over. One-time shot. Great save by Ruddy. Ottawa attacking across the line quickly. The long lead feed is Kelly. Across the line, the quick draw pass. Sucks the defense in deep, and getting rid of it quick was Bangs. A long stretch pass to the winger Hayes on the far side. As faceoff will be controlled momentarily by North Bay as they can't clear the line. Long shot in, blockered away by Ruddy. Gravel slaps it behind the net as Bahari. Long lead feed. He connects as Culbert's across the line. Culbert hasn't knocked off his stick. Is going the other way is Bangs. Mark Bangs across the line. Bahari rams him off the puck as he'll go for a skate himself. As stripped away from him. Bangs back in the corner. Waits. DiNardo was calling for it, got the long pass. At the point, the one-time shot, a low lining that was turned away by the right pad of Ruddy. Bahari, he'll move in transition. Cross the line, leaves it at the point. Long shot in, looking for the deflection on the back door. LaFontaine couldn't squeak it by D'Souza. Tie up as Kelly comes away with it. Rings it around for Windle. Windle back to Kelly. He'll get to center, fire it on target as Ruddy has a big rebound, pop back to the slot, but a nice move by Buckman behind the net, able to evade the defender by throwing it off the back. The Sidney Crosby move as he'll move to the far side of the ice, no icing the call. Buckman to it first. That one just onside is coming the other way. Ottawa looking for the backdoor feed. Can't squeeze it off as they've got pressure in the offensive end. Bouncing puck. Taken away by North Bay. This one can't escape the zone. Ottawa holds it in. Move back down below the goal line. Stobernak with it. Fires it to the weak side as couldn't squeeze it through. And North Bay looking to get it deep in Ottawa territory, get a change going. As coming into the offensive end on the far side was Moore. As here goes Windle the other way. He'll get to center and chip it around the boards. 9:32 to go here in the first. Gravel. Feed up to the near side. Long lead feed. That one off the stick. Up and out of play. Fans stick around in the intermission as chair of the board from the Ontario Hockey Federation, Jeff Turner, joins me up here in the booth for an interview. That'll be during the first intermission. So make sure you stick around as face-off in the neutral zone. It'll be taken back. Controlling it is Burnett. He moves up the near side for Popke. He has trouble with it in his skates. as Brunette will give it right back to Popke. Popke to the far side, across the line, just onside. Fournier looking for Siegel on the back door, couldn't squeeze it through. Comes up to the point, Brunette, long shot in, rebound chance, Siegel couldn't get a stick on it. Puck clears the zone as Brunette has it. Gravel rings it around the boards. D'Souza out to slow it up. He'll look over his options as he moves it to Popolicious as the bouncing puck will be taken away by Madge. He'll leave it up. Melandria. Here comes Melandria with a burst of speed to the backhand. Forehand shot missing wide of the target. Serdok plays it to the far side corner as back on it is Melandria. He can fly. We've seen that very apparent. 7 points in the tournament for him. Coming the other way now. Fournier toe drags through. Gets through one man. Bubblicious falls on the puck. Puck still loose at the side. The shot up and over the net. LaFontaine couldn't hit the target. Bahari now fires. Covered up by D'Souza. Pushing and shoving after the whistle between LaFontaine and Serdok. As the beautiful move by Fournier, but couldn't squeeze the puck through the big defenseman of Bubblicious. Coming in off the bench was Philip LaFontaine, still looking for his first point of the Central Region Championships. Had 49 in the NOHA. Sloan against LaFontaine. Face-off will be won back as Bangs moves it to the outside. Hayes, he has wheels as well. Bangs to the outside. He gets the forehand shot off, misses wide of the target. Kelly holds at the line as he'll move it back to Sloan, but Sloan can't control as coming the other way with it is Montroy. Montroy with dangles to the backhand. The shovel shot can't squeeze it through to Souza. A strong effort from Cedar Montroy, but couldn't squeeze it through to Souza. D'Souza been fantastic in the early goings. Montroy, 3 goals in the Central Region Championship for the Trappers. He had the OT winner in Game 1 against the Markham Waxers. Puck's tied up, taken away by Popke. He'll move it to the point. Long shot in from Gravelli. Got tipped on the back door by Siegel. But D'Souza scoops it up. Here's a live look at the YouTube poll. Who you think is going to win this game? The Trappers with a majority of the votes to this point, 64%. Score still 0-0 here in the early goings as long lead feed intended for Bangs. He gets it in the offensive end. Bangs from the sharp angle. That one be blocked away by the stick of Ruddy up and into the netting. Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider, offers championship gear available for order now. Scott Siegel, the captain of the Trappers. 13 points in 6 playoff games as the rebound chance is turned away and clear to the line. Puck moved to the near side with Presley Kelly and the bright green stick. Working the other way, Hayes with a burst of speed. He gets knocked off the puck by Starcevic as Bangs can't get it into the offensive end. Puck still tied up. LaFontaine be taken across by Starcevic. Starcevic moves over. Montroy's shot turned away by the right pad of D'Souza. Montroy has an electric shot. We've seen it all tournament long. As Hayes into the offensive end, leaves it off. Sloan backdoor feed, couldn't fit it through. Sloan behind the net, looks to center, finds it to Kelly, or excuse me, Bangs, but he fires it up and over the net. Bangs down low. Sloan with it. He'll come to the top of the circle. Gets free, fires the shot, and that one's deflected in front, up and out of play. Dean Sloaney led the team in goals in the postseason with 9 and tied for the lead in playoff scoring alongside Jack Melandra, both players with 13 points. Shots 8-6 for Ottawa, with 6 minutes and change to play here in the first. Somebody sent sky highs. It's knocked down by a glove and taken into Ottawa territory. Ottawa in their home black uniforms today. North Bay in the road white. Puck will be moved forward as dumped off Turnbull. He's across the line. Turnbull will wait. Tries to drive hard to the front of the net, but he's knocked off the puck as it will be clear to the zone. Tetzlaff to it first. He retreats Kelly. Back for Tetzlaff. He'll chip it off the boards as it'll be saucered forward and into the offensive end. Windle on the chase. Hodges to it first as he rings it around the boards. And the tie-up ensues right in front of the North Bay bench. Puck scoots free of the line as Tetzlaff moves it right over the middle. Windle just onside. He'll wait, trying to get a free shooting lane as he moves it down. Tetzlaff driving the front of the net, turned away by Ruddy. Carr. He'll move it down low as it's centered. Great chance for Windle, and shots turned away by Ruddy again. He's been sharp in the early goings as puck will be sent down the length of the ice. And for an icing call against the Trappers. There's a look at the head coach of Ottawa Myers Automotive, Brad Smith. He mentioned coming into the matchup today that North Bay, a very gritty team, a very tough team. Thought that they didn't play their best game yesterday against the North Shore Whitecaps. They're always searching for that tying goal. It just never came as puck clears the line. It was a very back and forth game. North Shore getting their first victory of the tournament, 6-4. As they're searching for that fifth tying goal before North Shore had the empty netters. Kelly gets banged off the board, still on the puck. Sharp angle shot, scooped up by Ruddy. There's a look at the coaching staff of the Trappers, featured by Josh Dale. Mentioning that the two teams today, very comparable, and he made the message very clear that last night's effort is not going to happen again. 5 minutes to play here in the first. North Bay dealing with a little bit of a sickness through the team as a penalty upcoming against Ottawa, as it's going to be Carr, the big forward, who gets sent off. Cross-checking and slashing the call. We'll see if for coincidentals or if Carr's getting all four. It appears that's not the case. I believe we'll stay 5-on-5 as two players report to the box, LaFontaine and Carr. So coincidental minor penalties. We'll stay 5-on-5. Ben Carr, the big 6'5" forward, leaving for the Brantford Bulldogs next season. On the other end, Philip LaFontaine, just standing at 5'9", so a bit of a mismatch in the battle. LaFontaine not backing down for the big Carr. As D'Souza rings it around the boards. Melandra tries to clear the line, knocked down by a big paw of Gravel as into the offensive end. Bradford. Bubblicious tries to hold the line, but Bradford had it escape on him, just coming across the blue line as Emery Bradford, 7 points this season for Ottawa Myers Automotive. Shots 9-6 in favor of Ottawa Myers Automotive. Score still 0-0. Ottawa is not afraid of the high-scoring games. 12 goals for and 17 against through 3 games here in the tournament. Puck comes free as driving towards the net is Sloan. He reverses it quickly. Hayes at the side of the goal, jamming away as Ruddy can't get a glove on it. Puck comes clear. Melandra from the point. Long shot in is knocked down by the glove of Ruddy. As it comes free again, Surdok's shot is blocked by Popke, up and out of play. Ruddy been phenomenal here in the early goings. He was 18-0-0 in the NOHA this season. The North Bay Trappers had a phenomenal season, going 35-1. So losing, not something that they're very used to. Already 1-2 in the tournament. Panam reverses. Bahari looking to work it out, makes a nice one-handed effort, but finally does get taken off the puck. Bouncing puck, controlled by Hayes as it's turned over, as Hodges will play it on the backhand into the offensive end. O'Neill rings it around the boards on the backhand. Intended for Kelly, but outside of his reach. Comes all the way to the point as D'Souza, a quick glove save to deny Hanam. Braden Hanam from Redbridge, Ontario, 11 points on the season from the 2009-born defenseman. Liam Kelly in on the draw for Ottawa, going up against Ronan Grant. Faceoff comes free. Culbert taps it forward. Kelly, he'll move it around the boards. O'Neill, one of the APs here for Ottawa Myers Automotive. Move forward. Kelly, he's across the line. Driving towards the front of the net. Kelly tries to get the forehand on it quick as Bahari will hit the brakes and roll back behind his own net. He's got to act quickly as Wendell was pressuring him. Bahari, quick return to feed up the near side as it's turned over, but North Bay able to fight it out to neutral. Bouncing puck, just onside, moved over, trying to squeeze it through for Culbert, couldn't get it all the way. Stobernak moves it over, Wendell across the line. He fires a shot, turned away by the blocker, big rebound, comes out to the blue line. Kelly back on the attack, he fires a shot, turned away by the right pad. Ottawa back on the rebound again. Wendell tries the wrap attempt, but can't pull it off. Puck comes free, right to the slot, and a chance in tight, denied by Ruddy again. Max Wendell finds himself alone on the back door as there was the earlier wraparound attempt. The puck came free as Madge was able to work it right back to him. Wendell, a one-time attempt, turned away by Ruddy. And fans, just a reminder, in the first intermission, Jeff Turner, the chair of the board from the Ontario Hockey Federation, joins me live here up in the booth. 2:43 to play here in the first. As some quick adjustments being made. Ruddy, the North Bay, Ontario native. It's a bit of an odd game for North Bay as Ruddy came in two separate times, as Coates had to leave the game due to injury. As the long shot in, framed like a catcher by Ruddy once again. His numbers a little bit inflated this week. The 7.23 goals against average and 8.15 save percentage. Not true representations of his game. He's been phenomenal this season. As the long shot in again from an off angle as North Bay clears the puck all the way down the other way. No icing the call as Fournier beats it out. Tetzlaff off the boards, driving Synot as we knocked down and worked out. Carr out of the box. As he'll look to go on the attack, it's fired in deep. Carr bearing down on Buckman as he takes him down with a big check in the back. Work to the corner as Popke has it pinned off. North Bay looks to clear the line as here comes a chance the other way. The captain, Siegel with a break behind the back feed. Fournier in, turned away by the post. He's working with D'Souza. Popke, he scores! Francis Popke beats D'Souza and the Trappers lead 1-0. The great behind the back feed from the captain. Fournier couldn't bury it. He resets, finds the trailing Popke coming down the lane. And Francis Popke has his fourth goal of the tournament. Top line contributions from the Trappers put them ahead at the late stages of the first period. Under 2 minutes to play. Ottawa looking for the answer. Kelly winds a slap shot that misses wide of the target. This one played around the boards as Sloan to it first. He gets it back. Kelly fires a shot that deflects wide of the target. Hayes back down low. Up top, Bubblicious swings it across the line. Down low. Kelly looking for the return feed as it deflects off his stick. Bubblicious holds the line. He'll fire it back in deep as a penalty upcoming to the Trappers. D'Souza to the bench. 6-on-5 momentarily for Ottawa as this one's rang down to the corner. Right back to the slot, trying to find the stick of Bangs as interference the call with 1:14 to play. More pushing and shoving as the official trying to hold the benches. We've seen some stuff go on this week. And we'll now see what the call actually is, as there could be more penalties. And we're going to stay 5-on-5 Ottawa was supposed to go to the power play. Not the case. The roughing after the whistle coming in, and Ottawa has had a hot power play, so losing that opportunity is a real killer here late in the first. Ottawa 5 for 12 on the power play, and North Bay's penalty kill had a rough night yesterday, going 2 for 7 against the Waterloo Wolves. The Wolves scoring 5 power play goals in that game, but we stay 5 on 5. Puck is centered as it'll be taken away. Popke. He'll move it up for Fournier, who has trouble with the bouncing puck. He gets it forward for Siegel, just offside the call as we enter the last minute of play. Trappers holding the 1-0 lead as Liam Hayes in the box. Shots 13-8 in favor of Ottawa. However, North Bay holding the 1-goal lead thanks to Francis Popke's 4th goal of the tournament. Face-off won back by Ottawa. Surdock moves it to the far side. Long lead feed. That one too hot to handle. It'll be sent down the length of the ice for an icing call. North Bay getting an offensive zone draw. Quick changes for the Trappers as it'll be Matthias Moore in his line. Synot, the ever so dangerous defenseman for the Trappers, out there. Faceoff will be won by Ottawa. That one's flipped a mile high, and a quick whistle blown. The official said it hits the roof as North Bay quickly sends out the top line once again. For Scott Siegel, that assist on the earlier goal, his first point of the tournament. William Fournier picks up his 3rd assist. The top line looking for more. Siegel on the draw as he goes against Sloan. Quickly moves. Synot fading away. Shot misses wide of the target as Popke picks it up first. He'll bring it around for Siegel. 40 seconds to play in the first. Siegel to the slot. Montroy back to Siegel. To Montroy from the shot. His shot blocked up and into the netting. Montroy quickly trying to just balance that puck. He gets it from a good angle, but Ottawa quick on the attack of the sharp shooting forward. Siegel and Sloan once again. Siegel wins it clean. Montroy off the draw, off the blocker of D'Souza as Tetzlaff recovers the rebound. He's being hounded by Siegel. Tetzlaff hanging onto the stick, trying to draw the call. Right to the slot, turned away by the blocker of D'Souza. Great save on Montroy as Popke with it in the corner. He's looking for space as he tries to move it forward for Siegel. This one flipped mile high as Synot knocks it down with the glove, but Bang's able to clear the line. Gravel chips it forward as Tetzlaff will exit the zone, and that will do it for the first period of play. The score after the first, 1-0 in favor of the North Bay Trappers. Shots on goal, 13-8 in favor of Ottawa. However, they trail after Francis Popke had the late marker in the period with just over 2 minutes to play. We take a look at the replays from the first period, as here is the chance from Siegel. The backhand drop pass for Fournier. And there was the goal from Popke. We now like to welcome in Jeff Turner, chair of the board from the Ontario Hockey Federation. Jeff, how are you doing today?
Good, thanks, Mitch. How are you?
I'm good. We'll now move right into the questions as the OHF, so the strategic plan talks a lot about safe, fun, accessible, acting with integrity, and being progressive. Which of those values do you think is the hardest to consistently live out across the system?
I think integrity for sure. There's so many compromises that get made at every level. I think acting with integrity and in the best interest of players, I think, is by far the hardest. And I think fun is the second hardest. I think lots of people, it's fun to play hockey, but I don't think we're very good at making it fun. And so for me, those would be the two.
Next question is, the culture is going to be a big part of the OHF's new strategic plan. What does this mean for the Ontario Hockey Federation?
So culture is in every single corner of the game, and to me, it's what does it mean to be a hockey player in Ontario? And quite honestly, we should be having that conversation at the national level too, but what does it mean to be a hockey player in Ontario? And we set the standard and we say these are the behaviors that are expected, and if you don't like that, go find another sport.
The people often say that culture is shaped at the top. From what you've seen, how much impact do board members have at the OHF level?
Well, they have a tremendous impact, but it also, I mean, it has to trickle down. So yes, our impact is that we set the tone for everything. We set the standards. We, look after the risk and so on. But setting the standard for what the culture is what really matters the most. And we have to walk the walk, right? We have every rule in the book, but we historically don't enforce them. So we have to look at ourselves and say, how can we be better? How can we set a better example for, impacting the culture of the game? And it's critically important that the leaders of the game lead, but we also have to, set the example. If you step out of line, then we're going to enforce the rules. And I don't think we've been very good at that over time.
Parent behavior comes up a lot in culture conversations. What pressures do you think parents are responding to, as well as how can the system do a better job of guiding expectations before things elevate?
Well, I think the biggest thing for parents is self-interest and fear of missing out, right? Everybody is going to act in the self-interest of their own kid. And very, very often that comes at the expense of the game of hockey. It comes at the expense of doing what's right in general. And, fear of missing out is, well, if I don't do this, my kid's not going to be a pro. And, oftentimes both the self-interest and the fear of missing out get entangled. And I think those are the biggest things. And I don't know that, that's universal. That's not a hockey problem. That's a universal problem. But what we have to do is we have to do a better job of letting the parents know that, you know what, your kid doesn't have to be an elite athlete at the age of 7 if he wants to be a pro. We have to do a good job of changing that narrative and letting people understand that that's not necessarily the case. And, we've got a long, long way to go, but I think parents are always going to act in the best interest of their kids, or what they perceive to be the best interest of their kids. We have to have a system where the best interest of their kids is also the best interest of the game of hockey. And I mean, that's a tough nut to crack, but that's what we're going to try and do.
And finally, fast forward a few years, if the culture shift is truly working, what do you expect to hear less of in rinks, and what do you hope to hear more of instead?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about being in a rink, what do I hear? You don't hear recruiting in November. Where are you going to play next year? And it's only November. Your season's only 5 games old. I think we'd like to hear less of that. I think we'd like to hear, or we'd like to know that there's more people playing. I think at the end of the day, if we do this right, we're going to win more championships because we're going to produce more elite players, because we're going to have more players playing the game. If we do it right, kids are going to have fun, so much fun in hockey that they don't want to quit at 13, and that they're going to keep in the game. And maybe the 9 and 10-year-old who hasn't started to play has actually a chance to develop and be an elite player. Think about that for a second. If we say, if you're not an elite player at the age of 10, you don't have a chance of being a pro. And that's true today. Well, what about the 7, 8, 9-year-old kids who haven't started playing yet? Why can't they be elite? And why can't we have an opportunity for them? And we're really missing the boat, I think, on that. So what would I like to see? I'd like to see us win more championships. But that's going to be a byproduct not of toxic competition. It's going to be a byproduct of there's more people having fun in the game. There's more people playing the game. And it's just simple math, right? The more people that play, the more people are going to be good. So, I mean, I think that's what I'd like to see at the end of the day, 10, 15 years from now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jeff Turner, Chair of the Board from the Ontario Hockey Federation. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Mitch.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Score after the first period, 1-0 in favor of the North Bay Trappers against Ottawa Myers Automotive. Second period action back right after this break.
day.
The TELUS Cup is coming to Peterborough. Canada's men's U18 National Club Championship is taking over the Peterborough Memorial Centre. From the opening face-off to the final goal of the championship game, the TELUS Cup delivers unforgettable moments at the highest level of U18 hockey in Canada. Be there for every moment. Get your tickets now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
Gold medal winner!
There's change, and change is always good.
I'd like to continue making sure freedom of movement is smooth. It's easier for kids to play, making sure as many kids who want to play can play, making sure that the OHF is well managed financially, well governed. Those things they're not sexy, but they're important.
Being part of the future of hockey, I'd like to make sure that hockey continues being hockey. My goal also is to be that devil's advocate, helping understand and question what we are doing to make sure that it is the right thing to do in the future.
Progress that I would like to see is to really continue to push the game and to push the quality of our events and the player experience and bring in some new and exciting and innovative initiatives like online streaming for our OHF championships.
For me, it's all about the players. They will always need support. We need to nurture their well-being physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. How can we do that in a good way? What does that look like? Growth and development, what change looks like in a good way, the culture and respect and integrity for the benefit of the players, and accessibility at all levels. So recruitment and retention for players. How do we get volunteers on board? How do we keep them involved? And how can we make that process streamlined and easier for that to happen?
What I would like to see is spend more time on recreational hockey and provide the recreational player who make up most of our membership feel more important and more worthy of the attention that some of the representative teams and people get, and translate that into the recreational stream.
It's an avenue by which players get to participate in a recreational activity that's structured, that's safe, and that, as I said previously, produces some pretty good citizens.
What progress I'd be looking for are just continued work towards inclusion, diversity, making the game more affordable, making the game easily accessible in terms of registration, and also continue the path of continued growth within hockey.
The vision of hockey in Ontario is a very complicated issue. There are a lot of people that have a lot of different views about what it should be. We work together better now than we ever have. We're on the same page more now than we ever have. So my job is to listen to people.
I'm most excited about the leadership role that OHF is taking on, and you can really see it in the customer service that's being delivered. Always thinking about the players and always thinking about the experience of enriching communities through hockey.
Success as chair to me would be having people say the members of the Ontario Hockey Federation get along better than they've ever gotten along. We collaborate more than we've ever collaborated. We trust each other more than we've ever trusted each other. If we all communicate and we all trust each other, we'll all make progress.
Personally receiving a scholarship, it's meant a lot to me. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden. I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
As someone that never played at a high level of hockey, I never really imagined being a professional referee until 2022. And I really thought, where could this job go? So I played A in Mississauga, and the association reached out to our team for timekeepers. And when I wanted to start, they offered me a position to start officiating. From then, just climbing through the ranks of the Mississauga Hockey League, Greater Toronto Hockey League, and into the Ontario Hockey League.
Not playing at a high level is one thing that sticks out when you go to referee at a high level. I feel like I have something to prove going into these bigger games and big rinks. Some coaches know that you never played at a high level, so how could you be refereeing? And it's important to remind yourself that you're there for a reason, just like they are. Your name didn't fall out of the hat and all of a sudden you're refereeing a professional hockey game. Off seasons are where you make the most gains as an official and player. Something that I think is very important as an official that didn't play high-level hockey is your skating ability. Take power skating lessons, sit on the ice, whether it's with your friends or alone, and get skated. As you climb the ranks and start to officiate major, junior, and professional hockey, you really start to notice the difference that communication makes with the players, coaches, other officials, and above. Staying composed, professional, and handling pressure is very important. Stakes are so high that we need to make correct, accurate decisions as best as we can. We don't get replays like you do at home watching the TV. We've got to make it that split second, and it's got to be as accurate as possible. I think getting into officiating can be daunting at times. You get yelled at, people think you're wrong, when really most of the time you are right. You start second-guessing your abilities and you get discouraged. So I think just reminding yourself that all the hard work and dedication that you put into over the years, it's very rewarding in the end.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Angus Glen Community Centre here for second period action between the North Bay Trappers and Ottawa Myers Automotive. A big thank you for Jeff Turner, chair of the board of the Ontario Hockey Federation, for joining me in the first intermission. After one period of play, it's the Trappers who hold the 1-0 lead, thanks to their leading goal scorer, Francis Popke, finding the back of the net for his fourth goal of the tournament. The Trappers currently sitting in the 5th seed as Buckman has to report to the penalty box, while the Trappers in the 6th seed. This game means a lot for both of these teams as second period action is underway. Shots were 12-9 in favor of Ottawa Myers Automotive in the first period. The puck squirts free. Madge with a quick shot, and it's blocked away by Ruddy. Carr, spinning shot, finds Madge on the back door. He's looking for the rapid 10. Melandra at the side of the goal, bashing away at it, and it's turned away by Ruddy. A hot start for Ottawa Myers Automotive in the first 18 seconds of the period as they're crashing the goal hard. Had a couple chances there. Madge nearly finds the puck on the back, on his stick on the back of the awning cage as the rapid attempt intended for Melandra ends in a face-off to the right side of Ruddy. LaFontaine, he'll win the draw back. Bahari gets shoved off the puck by Madge as Madge's stick goes to the far side corner. Long shot in, blocked by Montroy. Carr spins around the middle as the puck will come free and all the way back into Ottawa's defensive zone as Tetzlaff retreats for Turnbull. Turnbull up over the middle where he'll be taken in by Hanam. Moves to the far side, Carr. Tetzlaff has trouble with it as he moves over the middle. Carr with the big reach, able to knock that puck down. He gets the return feed. Carr, skate to stick, backdoor feed Melandra. That one just behind him. Melandra leaves it off. Carr from a sharp angle, tries to drive it towards the front of the net as Hanam takes him out of the play as Carr, some pushing and shoving after the fact as he's got to tag up. Carr way offside as he'll go for a change. Free clear here for Bahari. He'll go for a skate across the line, flips it into the offensive end. Goes to the corner as Kelly picks it up first. Rings it around the boards as Ottawa on the clear out. This one dropped off at the point. Long leading feed as Bangs can't pull the trigger. Synot up to the point. Kelly nearly too many. North Bay wants a call, not going to get it. Starcevich looking for the clear. He moves it up as LaFontaine has trouble. Synot now into the offensive end. He'll take it to the outside. He drives the net, backhand feed, leaving it for Colbert, but couldn't find it on the stick of the forward. North Bay back on the attack. This puck will be played into the offensive end as behind the net with it is Moore. Matthias Moore makes a nice move. Gets free momentarily. Tries to play it up to the point, but that pass errant as it was intended for Brunette. Back in the offensive end, Sloan. He'll move it to the outside. Toe drag shot turned away by the shoulder of Ruddy. Brunette rings it around. Hodges looking to move it up quickly, but bangs with the quick stick tap behind him as Moore will move it into the neutral zone. Stobernack looks to spin and fire. He'll get it into the offensive end, but from beyond the center line as that will go for an icing call. Here's a look at the live update of the YouTube poll as the Trappers holding the majority of the support here. 68% from the viewers voting for the Trappers to win after they took the 1-0 lead. Top line out for the Trappers as the faceoff will be won back and slapped around the boards. Ottawa looking to get going on the offensive end. Their offense has been very impressive through the first 3 days as here comes Sloan. Toe drag shot, scooped up by Ruddy. Dean Sloan tied for the lead in playoff scoring. He's got 6 points this week alone through 3 games, 2 goals and 4 assists for the forward from Ottawa, Ontario. Quick line change as Kelly on the draw against Siegel. Tied up, work to the point, Bubblicious will move it down for Bradford. Bradford driving the goal as he gets bumped off the puck. Bradford looking to center as Windle can't get it out in front. Fournier, he'll take the bump as he left it for Gravel. It's up to the point, long shot in. Rebound chance as it's covered up quickly by Ruddy. The low lining shot turned away by the pad. Then covered quickly by the North Bay netminder. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Sloan kick from the draw as a late change comes in for Ottawa. And Stobernack kicked out as well. They're forcing Banks to take it here. Bangs against Lafontaine. Lafontaine wins it clean. Synot moves up the boards. Montroy trying to get that freeze. It'll go off the end boards. Weird bounce off the net as it's cleared quickly to the corner by Gravel. Move to the slot. Stobernack to the forehand. He gets run over by Synot. Long lead feed to the weak side as Montroy gets it across the line onside. Montroy looking for the stretch feed across but can't fit it through a lane as without a stick now Montroy able to take advantage. Starcevich behind the net. He'll move it out in front where it'll be taken away by Sloan as he'll move it over the middle of the ice. Lafontaine holds the line. Sloan looks to clear the line. He'll just chip it off the glass and out as that will clear the line and slow up perfectly. No icing. Aiden Bahari goes behind the back. He'll leave it off Montroy. Moved up Lafontaine. He'll get it to Starcevich as Starcevich's pass is intercepted. Back on the puck first was Lafontaine. They'll work it to open spaces. Hanam chops at it. Madge now across the line. That one just outside the reach of Melandra. Melandra has trouble handling the puck. He'll slap it down to the captain as Carr now takes. He's working against Lafontaine. Trying to jab it free as Carr gets it free. Sharp angle shot as Ruddy scoops it up on the goal line as Carr dumps Lafontaine in the corner. Montroy trying to vouch for his teammate. No call upcoming as the Trappers want something against Carr as Lafontaine's helmet got unstrapped. Something you don't see very often. Lafontaine will have some words for Carr as the two cross paths as the Trappers will go for a change. Top line coming out to match up with the top line of Ottawa. Siegel against Carr. Siegel ties him up as Synot will be able to take it away, but Melandra quick on the attack. Synot moves it up. Long lead feed across. Lafontaine across the line. Return feed for Popke. That one just outside of his reach. Popke will chop at it, trying to move it forward as he's looking to get to the point for Buckman. As Synot leaves it for Popke. He takes it across the line. Popke return feed. Synot can't pull the trigger. He goes behind the back looking for Popke on the return feed, but can't squeeze it to him. As here comes Carr on the counter attack. Carr 2-on-2, just offside the call as Melandra got in a step early. Is a lot of pushing and shoving involving Ben Carr. Trappers trying to trap him into taking a penalty here. Got the coincidental early, just the minor. Has no team with a power play to this point. 15:03 to go in the second. Score still 1-0. So when we fired into the offensive end, Brunette, he'll be back on it first. He chops at it as it's turned over. Is on it first is Hayes. He'll be chopped off, and Moyer works it out for the Trappers. Moyer still with possession of it. He'll get across the line on side. He works the forehand right into the slot. Chance it tight for Grant, but he can't get a clean look. Moore up to the point. Brunette, long shot in. That one misses wide of the target. Chance for Ottawa the other way. This one chipped on side. No icing the call as Windle's able to beat it out. Grant takes the brunt of a hit as he can't clear the line. Long shot in. Deflected on the back door. Rebound chance is blocked in front. A huge block there by Buckman, putting the body on the line as he's going to be slow to get up. As it looks like that one got him in either the left leg or somewhere worse. Shot 17-9 in favor of Ottawa. Score still 1-0 in favor of the Trappers. Ruddy, a massive bounce-back game. LaFontaine against Sloan. Hayes lines up over top of him as Sloan will try to push it forward. That one comes free. Hayes in the slot. Backdoor feed, they score! Dean Sloan taps it on the back door from the pass from Hayes, and Ottawa has tied the game. The replay look of it as Sloan was able to just get to the front of the net. Hayes had to recover quickly as he wasn't expecting the puck to take the weird bounce off the boards. He's able to get to the shooting lane and fired the low lining shot as it's tipped on the back door, and Ottawa has evened the game here at 1. This one bashed off the boards as Ruddy out to slow it up. Anam off the backboard. Bahari overskates that one as it'll be chipped up to the point. Siegel one hands it forward for Popke. Here comes Popke across the line between the legs, trying to keep it forward as he knocks down Kelly to the ground. Popke still with possession of it. Scoops it down low. Siegel behind the net. Wraparound attempt. That one goes through the blue paint. Hayes, he'll slap it forward as here comes the ever so dangerous Presley Kelly in the ozone. Backdoor feed. Ruddy pokes it away from Banks. Long shot in, covered up by Ruddy. Ottawa foot on the gas here on the attack as Sloan was looking to double dip. For Dean Sloan, that's his third goal in 4 games, now up to 7 points on the day. As fans, you'll want to stay around during the second intermission. The CEO of the Ontario Hockey Federation, Phil McKee, joins me in the booth. Up to the point, long shot in. Will miss wide of the target. Synot rings it around the boards. O'Neill holds the line as Carr trying to work that free. It comes to open space as Surdok's first to it. Surdok, the Philippines native, will fire it in as Carr moves it down low to Madge. Madge behind the net. Up top for Surdok. Surdok waits, fires a long lining shot. That one got tipped by Carr as it trickles just wide of the goal. Starcevich gets hammered on the far side by the captain, Madge. Nearly knee-on-knee contact as Carr tries to come over the middle, has his pocket picked by Montroy as LaFontaine takes a spill in neutral. His pass attempt blocked as Gravel able to backhand it out for Montroy. Montroy being hounded by Melandra as Ottawa gets the puck right back. Big hit on the near side as Montroy, he gets possession of it, trying to go to his backhand. He'll take it behind the net. Works it up high, long, low lining shot in. Can't find it on target. Ottawa working the other way in transition. Across the line, O'Neill. He'll drop it off. Madge looking for the return feed. Surdok didn't hop up in the rush. Long shot in as that one will be scooped up by Ruddy as Carr comes right through the blue paint, trying to instigate a little more is Ben Carr. The 6'5" forward had 9 points in the playoffs, 3 points here through 3 games of the Central Region Championships. Faceoff's tied up, poked loose as taking away will be Popke. He has a stick on him as he'll dump it into the offensive end. Tetzlaff avoids the check from Siegel. As tying up on the near side, pushing and shoving ensues. The rugby scrum breaks out as Siegel hits the deck. He'll pop right back to his feet. It's once again tied up in the corner as Bahari comes in with a big hit. Puck comes free, Popke. He's at the side of the goal, goes behind the net as it's left there for Siegel. Trying to cut it in front. Siegel, a spinning shot's blocked. Knocked away by a hand as Siegel right back to it. That one moved over to the middle, and here comes a chance for Ottawa the other way. A potential break chance as player hits the deck as Kelly on the back door. Kelly is shot up and over the target. Wendell on a burst of speed as the two sides will go back to pushing and shoving here in the corners. Wendell with the burst of speed, as we'll see, come sliding through, almost for dramatic effect. With 11:17 to go here in the second. Another chance for Ottawa as their offensive attack has been relentless in this game, averaging 4 goals a game. Official having a chat with both coaches, assuming this is to say they're going to start calling everything after the whistle. A lot of pushing and shoving ensuing. We'll see what leads of it. LaFontaine against Sloan to the right side of Ruddy. LaFontaine kicked. Montroy in on the draw. Montroy takes a lot of draws for the Trappers when they're short-handed, as he'll get tied up on that one as it's poked free. LaFontaine tries to click up the loose puck as Montroy moves it forward. Between the legs pass for LaFontaine. He'll take it to the outside. Leaves it off behind the net as a centering attempt from Starcevic is blocked. Long lead feed out of the zone. Synot knocks it down. He'll ring it right around the boards. D'Souza can't catch up to it. Starcevic from a sharp angle looking for the deflection on the back door. Synot knocks it down. He scores! Jason Synot jumps up in the offensive rush and fires it past D'Souza, restoring the Trappers' lead. The puck comes around for Starcevic, and he fired it across. It got deflected in front. Synot knocks it down, and the quick release shot past the blocker's side of D'Souza. And the Trappers, once again, out in front. 10:46 to play. Bouncing puck will be settled in their own zone as puck comes free for Moore. Moore back on the attack. North Bay wanting more as he'll take it into the corner. Puck pops free. A sharp angle shot blocked in front as Culbert couldn't get it through. Turnbull will move it up as spinning back is Tetzlaff as he nearly loses control. Tetzlaff drops it off Turnbull. Turnbull, long lead feed. That one deflects off a skate, but it will go not for an icing call. They're saying Gravel took the wrong route to the puck, I suppose, as no icing. That will move forward. North Bay nearly offside as Starcevic had to turn back, trying to fight it forward. Brunette slaps that back into the offensive end as a couple Trappers will go for a change. Hodges applying the pressure. Buckman will just send it right back up where Ottawa controls. Now into the offensive end. Turnbull to the outside. He'll fire a shot. Turned away. Puck knocked loose by Carr. Ruddy doesn't have his stick. It's behind the Trappers' goal. Madge with it in the corner. He'll drive the front as Ruddy trying to cover with the blocker but couldn't, as Grant will take it out the other way. Grant into the offensive end. That shot misses wide of the target as someone on the North Bay side yelled, "Get it," at Ruddy, as here comes a chance the other way. Big Ben Carr, he's knocked off the puck by Bahari. Bahari shakes off the check from Melandra as here he goes in transition. He'll get to center, fire it in against D'Souza as the long rebound's there. Montroy nearly first to it as Montroy takes down his man. And the puck will be flipped clear of the line. As a proud partner, the Hockey Hall of Fame provides players of the game for all championship games. The Hall, home of the Stanley Cup and hockey at its best. For Jason Sinon, that was his first goal of the championship. He had 16 in the regular season of the NOHA. He's been fantastic this tournament. Just wasn't able to burst through on the score sheet until today. Josh Dale having a conversation with the officials. In Bahari making that last play to deny Ben Carr of the breakaway. Mentioning that he's a really good puck mover, brings a lot of energy, and it's big to have one of your assistant captains back in the lineup. Face off one back as it'll be played around Wendell, looking for the outlet passes. It's slapped back into the offensive end. Siegel, he's got a chance. It's blocked in front. A diving effort by Kelly in front. They played back into the offensive end as Wendell takes a spill as a couple Ottawa players slipping over the ice. As Siegel, a nice move, gets to the forehand, fires a shot, turned away by D'Souza. Nice hands on display from the Trappers captain. The top defensive forward of the NOHA putting the moves on display. Gets to the forehand, firing the shot, but D'Souza able to squeeze that in the big logo. Shots 20-11 in favor of Ottawa with 8:27 to play here in the second. Gravel rings it around the boards. Sarcevic, he moves it right out into the slot, but Montroy couldn't pull the trigger. North Bay in the offensive end with it, is tying up on the near side. Quick shot from Montroy, long rebound chance. D'Souza pounces on it as he denies the leading scorer. For the Trappers, Montroy was looking to line that one up in the one-time slot as LaFontaine gets it free. The quick pass into his line mate, and Montroy denied. Sinon trying to clean up the garbage, but D'Souza pouncing on quickly as both teams go for a wholesale change. North Bay turning up the offensive intensity since their last goal. Ronan Grant on the draw, 27 points on the season for him. As here comes Ottawa the other way, a burst of speed. Melandra trying to get to the forehand. He's pocket picked by Sinon. Moore moves it over as Moyer with it the other way. Moyer across the line, just offside. As we'll reset. Caleb Moyer, the 6'1 winger from North Bay. 13 points on the season for him. Second line right back out there for North Bay. Linesman blowing the whistle as the wingers on the far side got to back up a little. Carr wins the draw. As it will be moved out to center, Gravel looks to fire it back in deep. Across the line, Gravel, he'll control in his own end. Chops it off the boards as it goes right back to Ottawa territory and flipped over the middle. Sinon, he'll take it center and fire it in deep, and that's an icing call. He one times it down the ice just from beyond center. North Bay forced to come back to their own end. We'll see what changes Ottawa has to make. Banks, Hayes, Carr out there for the offense. Kelly O'Neill on the back end. Carr wins the draw. Hayes a quick shot off, just missing wide of the target. Kelly a long shot in. It's loose in the slot as LaFontaine will just send it down the ice again and will redo it. The OHF is pleased to partner with HTG Sports Services as its exclusive accommodation services provider. HCG is committed to providing support services for athletes, teams, and communities across Ontario. North Bay Trappers a perfect 6-0 in group play in the NOHA postseason as Ruddy turns that shot away. Evan O'Neill on the point. They defeated the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 5-4 in the game deciding. As that long shot on turned away by Ruddy again. Montroy looks to clear the line. O'Neill right back into the offensive end. Sinot with it behind the net. Has trouble clearing the line as LaFontaine, a crafty effort, but he turns it over. As Melandra has the puck jump off his stick, LaFontaine takes a spill. Sloan can't hold the line as Ottawa's got to reset at neutral. Back across the line. Kelly is shot missing wide of the target. Gravel bangs it off the boards, turned over. Here comes Sloan. Sloan a backhand feed, looking for Madge, but he couldn't get it. As Starcevic will move it out the other way. Starcevic across the line as he'll fire it into the corner. North Bay getting fresh defensive there as Burnett and Buckman roll out. This one moving to the side of the goal, trying to tuck it home, Montroy, but he's slammed at the door by D'Souza. A crafty move by Montroy as the turnover's quickly forced. He tried to tuck it on the backhand, coming across, trying to get D'Souza moving left to right. Excuse me, right to left. Trying to tuck it on the backhand, but couldn't jam it home. D'Souza the impressive save. Pays off taking the other way as Burnett a good knockdown as he traps it between his feet. Siegel from center will fire it in deep. D'Souza can't reach that one. Played behind the net. Bubblicious looks to advance it. 6 minutes to play here in the second. Buckman at the line. He fires a long lining shot in, turned away to the corner by D'Souza. North Bay within the corner as they'll be rang around the boards. Buckman holds the line. Played down low. Siegel with it. Looks over his options. Swings it up to the point. Brunette just holds it in as Fournier will tap it down low. Popke trying to lay the check against Bobblicious as Siegel from the slot. Rebound chance is still loose in the slot as Popke's shot misses wide. Now will be flipped high and out of the zone. No high stick the call as Stobernang moves it across. Kelly just onside. Nearly got himself as he knocks Buckman to the ground. Kelly waits. Tried to swing it down low, but it was taken away by Moore as the bouncing puck is scooped up by Moore. He'll move it up. Popke, 2-on-2, come the Trappers. Popke waits, looking for Fournier, the trailer, but couldn't squeeze it through. Ottawa in transition. This one moved to the slot as a sharp angle shot from Kelly misses wide of the target. Turnbull. That one clears back out to center. Hayes losing control of it, but he just leaves it back for Tetzlaff. Moore. He's got the puck at the blue line and will dump it back in. Hodges on the attack. D'Souza out to play it. He'll ring it back for Bangs. Long lead fee will deflect off the stick and into the offensive end as Bahari trying to direct traffic, but he loses a glove in the process as up at the point, Tetzlaff a shot. Rebound chance at the side of the goal, bashing away, and Carr couldn't get good lumber. Here comes North Bay, 3-on-2 the other way. Hodges, backhand feed to Starcevic, but that one a little too strong as Starcevic takes the brunt of a check from Tetzlaff in the corner. Puck comes free, Ottawa looking for the equalizer. They move with speed into the offensive end. Hanam gets knocked off the puck. Bahari fakes the check as he scoops up the puck. Starcevic, long lead feed, knocked down by the stick of Turnbull, as it will be controlled by DiNardo. Luciano DiNardo just in his second game of the championship as Ottawa into the zone with numbers. Hayes waits, backhand feed, rebound chance, backdoor, great save by Ruddy. He denies Ben Carr on the doorstep, and Ruddy keeps it out. Carr, the trailing man, going to the net. Hayes puts it through the legs of Hanam, but the puck stays loose as Bangs was able to get it on the back door to Carr. But Ruddy able to make the adjustment in time and turn down the big forward. .321 to play here in the second, as at the next intermission, Phil McKee, the CEO of the OHF, joins me from the broadcast booth. Sign-out rings it around. Sloan up at the point. Long shot in. Glove down by Ruddy. Presley Kelly denied there. He's been very impressive for Ottawa Myers Automotive this season. 38 points, which led all scorers on the team, as well as 7 points, which leads all scorers here in the Central Region Championship. Madge looking to knock that free as Fournier will pin him to the glass. Gravel looking to bash away as it's tied up right underneath as Melandra knocks it free. Siegel rings it around. Up at the point, Kelly dancing on the blue line. Tries to leave it off, but here comes a chance the other way. Fournier with a burst of speed as Kelly will chop at him as offside are the Trappers. They've got to tag up. Kelly with the impressive back check there to break up the chance the other way. Sign-Up moves it up. Fournier across the line. He'll try and leave it off for Sign-Up, but it's turned over, and now a chance the other way. Bahari working on his man as Melandra shot, rebound chance turned away by Ruddy. Long shot from the point as Kelly shot his glove down by Ruddy. Ottawa firing a lot of rubber to the front of the net. And Carson Ruddy, he's been spectacular. Was dealing with issues pre-game, and he gets the start today, and he's been fantastic for the Trappers. LaFontaine against Carr. Face off one back, Hanam rings it around as Hayes picks it up first, right into the slot as bangs up to the point. Long shot in, tipped on the back door by Carr, but wide of the target. Right up top, Carr, a shot, he scores! Ben Carr pops the bottle of Ruddy, and Ottawa has tied the game. A rocket of the shot from the big forward, Ben Carr. Turnbull firing the initial shot in. It's quickly scooped up and reloaded by Ottawa as it's moved up top. Ben Carr, and he fires it right over the shoulders of Ruddy. As Carr has his second goal of the tournament, as the officials now having a discussion with 2:02 to play here in the second of a 2-2 game, and everything appears to be okay. Both forwards kicked from the draw, as we'll do it again. Moore against Madge. Grant, he'll get across the red line, slap it into the offensive end. Tetzlaff, he's first to it as they'll be running around the boards. Madge taps it forward. Grant has that one off. The shin pad's deflected as Moore moves it with speed the other way. He gets across the middle, nearly knocked off the puck. Still fighting for it. He's off balance and gets slammed into the boards. Played behind the net, Turnbull on it. Banks it off the boards as Ottawa will exit the zone. Hanam, first back to it. 1:23 to play here in the second. Bahari, long lead feed off the skates, and Carr right off the bench. He's back in the offensive end. Carr down low to Bangs. Bangs, jam play at the side of the goal, trying to find it free for Melandra, but he couldn't get a stick free. Bahari. The long feed for Morris. The two are tied up as Moore was with Turnbull. Puck comes free as a shoving match on the near side boards as it worked free on the far side. Moyer into the offensive end, bouncing puck. Long shot in as that one missed wide. Synot, the only player in the offensive end for the Trappers, as they go for a wholesale change. Puck worked up the near side. Gravel chipped up the boards as it goes into the offensive end. 30 seconds to play here in the second. Puck move forward. LaFontaine trying to get a rush. He's free. LaFontaine to the backhand. Couldn't pull the trigger. Had the puck knocked off his stick. Those will be worked right over the middle. 15 seconds to play. Maybe one last rush here for either side. Played to Siegel. 10 seconds on the clock. Siegel, a long shot in. Glove down by D'Souza with 6.6 to play. Shot 16. 26 to 16 in favor of Ottawa Myers Automotive. Score 2-2 between the current 5th and 6th teams in the standings. Both teams needing every point possible as 2 of the seeds are already locked up for the weekend, being the Toronto Titans and the Waterloo Wolves. Faceoff's tied up and will be taken back by Ottawa Myers Automotive. And that will do it for the second period of play. We'll look at the replays from the second period as Ottawa strikes twice, North Bay once. Here's a look at the last goal as the shot in front, and it got worked back up top to Carr for the game tying goal. Folks, I'm now here with Phil McKee, the CEO of the OHF. Phil, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yourself, Mitch?
I'm doing great. First question, culture going to be a big part of the OHF's new strategic plan. What does this mean for the OHF?
This means that we're going to take the steps forward to ensure that, with culture, the different components of it, 1 being maltreatment, 2 being, parent behavior, and really, changing the behavior from the get-go of our, from our coaching staffs right down to our players. And our goal is over the next 5 years that with the work that we do with them, we're going to transition into a situation where, we're going to see, people in the sport, loving the sport, enjoying the sport no matter what their role is in it. And ultimately, we're showing integrity and leadership right from the top on that.
The OHF talks a lot about breaking the chain behavior. If we're being honest, what behaviors do you think have been normalized in hockey that really probably shouldn't be anymore?
Well, the normalization is the expectation of coaches just, they have this sole responsibility of delivering and winning, and that's their focus. And really, it's not about winning. It's about player development, growth of the individuals. It's about people development. They're there for the purpose of making sure that kids are, ultimately going to be great people in society longer term for us as a nation. And, the byproduct of that is that you're going to win. If you create great values, you create great situations with your participants every day, then those players are going to come on the ice. They're going to take those values into hard work. They're going to take those values into being part of the game, and they're going to want to perform better.
A lot of these behaviors have been around for decades. What do you think makes them so hard to let go, even when we all agree they aren't great for the game?
Well, history repeats itself. So, simply being, you look back to what, you learned, what you knew, and we as parents and we as leaders and we as coaches need to say, hey, what I learned and how my coaches coached me and taught me, was that the right way? And has society changed? Has things changed where I have a higher level of responsibility to deliver on this game and deliver to these players than what was expected of a coach 25, 30 years ago? And, that's why it's difficult to change, is because it's all learned behavior coming back in. And yes, we give education, we give information, but at the same point, that education and information, if you don't just transition and are open to the learning and the growth as an individual, you're going to go back and default to what you learned as a young kid and what you grew up and experienced.
There's a real tension between wanting to win and wanting to do what's right for long-term development and well-being. Where do you see that tension showing up most today?
Well, the tension shows up most today with the recruitment of players, coaches trying to, put players on their teams versus saying, hey, you know what? Regardless of the group of kids I get, I'm going to create a great experience. I'm going to give them the opportunity, the experience, just to have fun. And we're recruiting players partway through the season. We're ending kids' seasons halfway through the seasons. It's not fun. And our rules don't allow for that, and we're going to ensure accountability is held there when we identify those situations. So ultimately, if you're a coach and you create values, you create a situation as an organization values, and that's going to be the leaderships, our presidents and our GMs of our organizations, holding their coaches accountable to say, hey, here's the values we live by as an organization. And our values are integrity, our values are honesty, our values are hard work, and yeah, we're going to follow the rules. We're not going to go out and win at all costs. We're going to win because we live by values. And I'll tell you, the players that come and work in systems like that, they're going to love the experience. And they may not. Yeah, there's a lot of items that we do that our coaches have to check a box and take it because that's what's required. But the education is excellent. The information is excellent. So, if you're in your own business, you had the opportunity to go out and learn and have that opportunity. And a lot of these coaches are learning for free because the associations are supporting them in their education. If your own organization did that and gave you the opportunity of free education, why wouldn't you take the opportunity to learn and grow and develop? And you know what? You don't have to take 100 things out of every piece of education. Take one piece out of it. And so it's a shift in mindset for those who are taking the education that I want to be here versus I have to be here. And that's what will change it from being a checkboxing exercise to actually having the impact on their overall growth and development and ultimately on the players. Because there's lots of great people who put time, energy, and effort into the science behind how to coach. And a lot of that information is in the materials that these individuals get the opportunity to take and learn from. And you know what? What we do, in an NHL practice or what we do off a YouTube practice for, a U18 AAA team or a major junior team, it's not the same practice you're going to run for U9. So that's why it's tailored specifically for that age group. We're not teaching them how to run a power play unit and run penalty kill unit for a U9 team. We're teaching them how to actually teach the kids. And part of that might be, hey, you know what, we got to bring some phys ed teachers in. We got to bring people in who, that's what their expertise is and guide them in, helping to, take kids to the next level with regards to their own education and growth.
Final question here. If we're sitting here in 2029 and the plan has truly been successful, what would you feel noticeably different about the hockey experience in Ontario?
The noticeable difference for me is that the overall attitude of people is going to be about player development. Not about what's going to be good for me, what's good for my organization, what's good for, the specifics of my team. It's going to be about, we have now 275,000 kids playing this game. And we're doing a great job of developing those kids and making sure that they have an opportunity not only to play this game, but leave this game and take the, integrity, the great, aspects of this game, the great leadership tools they learn in this, transfer them out, and they're teaching that to other kids in schools. They're role models because of what they've learned in our game about, being honest, about integrity, about hard work, about dedication, and then ultimately, about following the regulations and following the rules. And it's not win at all costs. I have values, and values are important, and they're the leaders who are going to walk into this world and make sure that everyone else in their school has values and lives by those values. And that's our job as leaders, to make sure that the kids, when they're in our care and they're in our system, that they get those opportunities and they get that growth. And in 2029, they're taking that outside of our game. They're the leaders taking that into the world.
Awesome, Phil. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Mitch. Really appreciate it.
Phil McKee, CEO of the OHF. Score after 2 periods of play. North Bay Trappers 2, Ottawa Myers Automotive 2. A great third period coming up next. Thanks. Thank you.
For the first time, got something to call mine. Starting today.
This building, this province, and these fan bases
Canada's best men's under 18 club teams come to Peterborough this spring for the 2026 TELUS Cup. Who will follow in the footsteps of the greats that have come before? Catch all the action live from April 20th to 26th at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. Tickets are available now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
I love hockey. I always have since I was a kid, and the first shift is what got me into playing hockey.
In 2014, Hockey Canada and Bauer set out to create a program that would help introduce hockey to new-to-hockey families across the country. This program is called The First Shift. More than 10 years ago, Tim laced up the skates for the first time ever through a First Shift program in Scarborough.
Back in 2014, my parents first heard about the First Shift program through one of the local community centers. My parents immigrated to Canada several decades ago. They actually didn't know anything about hockey, even when we started. My siblings and I, we would watch it on YouTube, we would listen to the games on the radio, but we didn't really know much about how the game was played. And because of this First Shift program, we actually learned a lot about hockey. Without it, I don't believe that we would have been playing on the ice. Trying on hockey equipment for the first time was a very exciting experience. I'd only seen hockey equipment on the professionals and seen them on the ice, seen clips of them. Putting all the gear on, it was like I was one of them. Something that I remember most about the First Shift, the welcome event, was how overwhelming it was. All the gear, all the people. I really didn't know what was going on, but the fit experts were very professional. They knew what they were doing. They walked us through everything, and just the excitement afterwards is something that really stuck with me. Something that still stands out to me from that first experience is the coaches. Stepping out onto the ice for the first time was very exhilarating. I was a bit nervous, but the coaches, they took care of those nerves right away. And after that, it was just fun. After the First Shift, what kept me involved in hockey was the sanctioned minor program, the Scarborough Ice Raiders. I played with them for several years. First Shift means a lot to me personally. It kind of shaped my life growing up, because without this program, I wouldn't have gotten into hockey. Without hockey, I don't think I would be the kind of person I am. Being able to play on a team, work with teammates, day in, day out, build that sense of community is something that shaped my life throughout.
Having great fit experts is outstanding. They are the heart and soul of this program. Having experts such as Tim convey their love of the game and their expert advice on equipment fitting reassures family and begins their hockey journey in the best possible way.
It feels awesome to give back to the program that started my hockey journey. I'm very grateful to First Shift, and I'm grateful to be back here and be able to be on the other side, give back to other kids, give back to my community. So something that I would say to a family that's considering the First Shift program is that it's absolutely worth it. You're getting a full set of gear and ice time at such an affordable cost. You're also getting memories that your child will be able to carry with them through the rest of their life. It's something that you'll never forget.
I had a really rough year, obviously. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. And
you know, it was really perseverance in the face of adversity. Non-hockey related injury, but one of significance.
Getting the news that he had the fractures, and it was a compression fracture, and him not being able to move, and just waiting for the news to see if he needed surgery or if he was going to be able to walk, if it had hit any nerves. It was frightening.
It was hard, but what motivated me was the support I had around me. I felt like I couldn't fail.
With Dominic, he didn't walk away from hockey through his recovery. He continued to participate as best he could.
Hockey's taught me you got to do the hard thing, because usually the hard thing is the right thing to do. That perseverance, just pushing yourself through hard things, and it's helped shape the values of my whole personnel overall.
Today, everybody's busy. And to see young people like Dominic with the opportunity to set aside time to contribute to community is very important.
I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I went to Knights games when I was younger, and you come home with a mini stick or a puck, and it's like the best thing ever. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
Having a scholarship program, it just allows us to recognize some of those individuals that have just taken that to the next level.
I mean, I cried. I was super proud of him being recognized for such an amazing award.
Obviously, I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden.
It's not about just developing a hockey player. It's about developing good citizens.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for third period action here of Game 1 of Day 4 between Ottawa Myers Automotive and the North Bay Trappers. A big thank you to Phil McKee, the CEO of the OHF, for joining us as we'll take a look at the goals from the second period. Ottawa striking twice in that second frame. First, off the stick of Dean Sloan. Got the backdoor deflection play from Liam Hayes as the second goal. North Bay taking the lead. The defenseman, Jason Synott, lifting it over the shoulder of D'Souza. And finally, the big forward, Ben Carr. The one-time opportunity blasted over the shoulder of Ruddy. Tied the game at 2. We're all squared as we head to the third. Third period action underway from the Angus Glen Community Centre here on Day 4 of the Central Region Championships. Puck turned over in the neutral zone. Shots through 2 periods of play, 26-17 in favor of Ottawa. Ottawa outshot North Bay 14-8 in the second frame as that shot gloved down by Ruddy just 25 seconds into the period. Carson Ruddy has been really good tonight. A 1.96 goals against average in the NOHA this season. Stats a little bit inflated due to yesterday's game in the 9-1 loss against Waterloo. Got a 7.23 goals against average. He came in relief as Coates had to leave the game due to injury. A sharp angle shot turned away by Ruddy as the puck swung back down low, and Ruddy will get a quick cover on it. Ottawa Myers Automotive to refresh from earlier in the week. In the HEO, they defeated the Ottawa Junior 67s 7-3 by the points. And then Ottawa Valley Titans in the championship, they took them down 7-1. So a smooth cruising path through the playoffs in the Hockey Eastern Ontario for Ottawa Myers Automotive, formerly the Junior Senators. And this one will be controlled by Presley Kelly as it's tipped into the offensive end. Bahari on it first. So when we move forward, as sent down all the way. No icing the call as Kelly's got to scoop it up. He's got 1 assist in this game and 8 points now in the tournament. He's the sole tournament leader as he'll take it to his forehand, gets knocked off the puck, and a chance the other way. Montroy across the line, rebound chance in tight, scooped away by Kelly as he'll move with Hayes as Ottawa has numbers into the offensive end. Hayes, he'll hit the spinorama move as he takes it to the backhand, gets knocked off the puck as we worked up towards the point. Pinned off on the half wall as working it the other way is LaFontaine. Montroy will dump it in as Liam Kelly takes. Moves it over to O'Neill. Liam Kelly gets the puck right back as he'll go first skate around the other 19. Moyer. North Bay looking to clear the line. They get it back out to center. This will come all the way back. No ice in the call as D'Souza will help out his defense. Moves it off to DiNardo as a long lead feed. Hops the stick and will go for an icing call. Luciano DiNardo, only in his second game of the championship, was back into the lineup as of yesterday. 2009 born defenseman, recorded 12 points for Ottawa Myers Automotive this year. Faceoff is tied up and controlled by DiNardo as he'll slap away at it. Puck move forward as it's turned over in the defensive end. Working out Stobernak. Gets it over to Windle. He'll move it over the middle as Stobernak across the line has it taken away from him as Fournier will deflect it into the offensive end. Surdok hounded by Popke as Fournier scoops it up right in the slot to Popke. He couldn't pull the trigger in time as he only got a piece of it. Surdok lays the big time hit against Brunette. Puck clears the line as Brunette will go back to retrieve. He'll chip it off the boards and into the offensive end. Windle to the outside. He'll hit the brakes near the goal line as looking to center, has no options. He'll ring it around the boards. Melandra to it first, up at the point, Turnbull. A low-lining passes. Ottawa had to tag up. They were offside. Popke in across the line as he takes a bump off the puck as Turnbull knocks him down. Pass right to the slot as LaFontaine couldn't reel it in as a long pass across. Melandra intended for Madge. Madge gets pinned to the boards. Sinal looking to work it out the other way. Gravel moves it up the far side boards. It'll be chipped off the boards and moved out of the zone as shaking off a hit there was Turnbull as he's in the offensive end down below the net. Ottawa will return it the other way. No one on the receiving end as Gravel will play behind his net, but he moves it to Sloan as Madge trying to pick it up in the slot. It goes behind the net. Madge a wraparound attempt, but goes right through the blue paint. And North Bay out with numbers. Sarcevic, long pass across, looking for Montroy, but couldn't connect. Pass rang around the boards as Sloan will slow it up. Sloan to the far side, Turnbull with speed. He leaves it off Hayes. Turnbull crashing that, looking for the backdoor deflection, but it's turned away by Ruddy with the left pad. Bahari over the middle, turned over and tagged up there by Bangs. Mark Bangs, 15 goals, 16 assists in the HEO this season. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes out to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Matthias Moore. Long shot in from Bumblelicious as blocked in front. And here comes Bahari with speed. Bahari drops it off across the line. Culbert, backhand feed, looking for more. Trying to jam it home to Souza, shoulder save. Rebound chance right in the blue paint. Culbert tries to spin and fire. He's knocked down by Carr as a wrestling match between Bubblelicious and Moore behind the play as Kelly and Hodges checking out one another. Matthias Moore standing at 5'8". Matas Bubblelicious 6'5". A little bit of a mismatch there. Hayes. It's checked off on the boards right between the two sides benches. Is a lot of hacking away as Bahari into the offensive zone, turned away by the shoulder save of D'Souza. Presley Kelly up top for Liam Kelly. Return feed Presley Kelly. Playing around the net. Windle on it first as he gets checked into the boards. Puck squirts free. Down low below the goal line, trying to center it for Stobernak as it gets played around. Off the boards to Culbert as he plays it high off the glass and it clears the line. Kelly to Tetzlaff as Kelly gets knocked down. Kelly with some frustration as he gets back to the bench as Siegel onside. He fires a shot blocked off by Tetzlaff, up and out of play. Aiden Tetzlaff getting the reach on the shot there, the 6'2" defenseman. Able to get the stick on the Trappers captain and send that puck skyward. Sloan against Siegel on the draw. It comes forward for Siegel as Fournier tries to pull the trigger, but it's blocked in front as here goes Melandra with a burst of speed to the near side. He gets bumped off the puck by Synot. As those two have been a show to watch tonight, both with great speed, great edge work. It's been a battle all night long. Fournier works it the other way. To the near side, Popke, he's across the line. He fires a shot that misses wide at the target. That one chopped into the offensive end. Tetzlaff will retrieve as the Trappers had to tag up. Tetzlaff across the line. He'll hit the brakes as he gets to the corner, works it up high. Melandra's stick exploded, and here comes a chance the other way. Fournier out of gas. Delayed penalty upcoming. D'Souza makes the stop. And he got whistled quickly. I believe the penalty is on Melandra for throwing the stick, or having the stick come into interference, and Melandra heads to the box. So for the first time all game long, we get to see a power play as North Bays will roll out. North Bay, they've struggled on the man advantage this week, just 1 for 15 on the power play. While Ottawa's penalty kill hitting at a 70% clip, they're 7 for 10. O'Neill will get the free clear as Madge applying the pressure. Ruddy's going to go out to play it. Illegal use of equipment to call on Melandra. Held onto the stick a little too long. As Montroy across the line with a burst of speed loses control of it as Kelly looks for the clear, and he will do so. Synot not on the line. 30 seconds already down on the man advantage as Synot takes it to the outside. He'll work back across the middle, trying to get away from Carr. Synot across as Fournier has trouble balancing it. Fournier back with it in the corner. He's got to evade the check from O'Neill. Puck tied up in the corner as Siegel to the line. Long shot in. D'Souza has it covered up as crashing the net hard as Popke, and Popke saying to O'Neill, I'm not trying to hit him. And that's what it looked like, at least anyway. 1:08 to play here on the power play. Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider, offers championship gear available for order now. 12:04 to play here in the third. Still of a tied 2-2 hockey game. That one comes free as Bangs with a shorthanded rush the other way. He'll hit the brakes as 3 trappers converged on him, as Ottawa looking to waste more time here as he'll finally be fired down the length of the ice. Big bounce off the dasher as Synot will take it behind the net. Ronan Grant now out on the power play. Synot sees something he likes, he'll drop it back. Montroy gets the center, fires it around. Tetzlaff looking for the quick clear as they'll go D to D, and no one there on the other side as here goes Madge as Ottawa 2-on-2 across the line. Madge spinning backhand pass, but a little too high for Ben Carr. 14 seconds to go on the man advantage. Synot will work it across the red line. He'll take it towards the goal line. Wraparound attempt. Jam play at the side as it's covered up by D'Souza. LaFontaine was bearing down as we'll take a look at the YouTube poll. The Trappers keep gaining support here. 70% say North Bay will close out this game. Both sides in desperation mode with 2 games to play from the initial round robin. Face-off 1, Bahari from the point. He'll unleash the shot, glove down by D'Souza, and we're back to even strength. Melandra back from the box, and he'll immediately jump into action. Shots 28-19 in favor of Ottawa as Melandra turns it over. Popke, jam play at the side. Rebounds loose in the blue paint. D'Souza shuffles it aside with the stick. Puck held in at the line. It'll be moved to the far side corner. As Fournier knocked it down, Madge nearly a break attempt, as working it the other way will be DiNardo. Near side as Popke looking to work it out. Puck squirts free for Sloan as Siegel takes him into the glass. Up top to the point, Serdok walks into it, fires it high and wide of the target, and no goal called as that one was batted into the back of the net. No one even celebrating there, everyone knew. Liam Hayes, the high rebound off the glass, taps it into the back of the net with the glove. So no goal called. Face-off comes outside. By any means necessary. Carr in on the draw against LaFontaine. LaFontaine wins it clean. Near side, Starcevic. He'll move it over far side. Montroy across the line. He fires a shot up and over the target. Long shot in from Synot as that one misses high and wide. Gravel keeps it in. Bubblicious coming down as Synot with the aggressive pinch towards the goal line. LaFontaine, sharp angles shot to Souza. Wasn't ready for it. As he squeezes at the last second, Starcevic was crashing the net hard as more pushing and shoving. As D'Souza, the nice guy, who gives the stick to Starcevic. Starcevic apologizes for crashing the net so hard, and doesn't always have to be so anger-fueled, apparently is. The two side make better ends. 9:49 to go here in the third. Carr and Grant to the right of D'Souza. Grant knocks it free. Moyer up to the point. Synot, long shot in. That one tipped on the back door, wide of the target. Gravel down in the corner. Moore. He'll get pinned off by Kelly as both sides fight it free. Presley Kelly chips it high off the glass, but it was blocked by his teammate as it works right into the slot. Bubblicious clears the line. Synot fires it to the far side where Kelly first to it. He'll chip it off the boards, looking for the return feed as teammate couldn't squeak it through. Bubblicious looking to tap it forward as it will not clear the line, but North Bay back in neutral. Hayes dangles around two to the outside. He's onside, puts it between his own legs. Hits the brakes hard, looking for the backdoor feed. Couldn't get it on the stick of Carr. Moore moves it up as Grant trying to slap it into offensive territory. Buckman back in his own end. Hard bank off the wall as it will just squeak free of the blue line. 8:48 to play here in the third of a 2-2 hockey game. This one trickles down the length of the ice, icing the call. Face-off comes back to the North Bay end. This puck stoppage is brought to you by Barron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Barron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Sloan in on the offensive draw as the puck will work free on the near side as it goes behind the net. Bouncing puck taken away by the Trappers as it clears the line, and here comes a chance the other way. Grant can't move it, skate to stick as it's moved off to the near side. Trying to chip it forward, Tetzlaff. He'll move it up as it's fired into the offensive zone. Bahari leaves it off. Sharp angle pass to the front of the net as Hanam moves it around. Turnbull, long shot in. Will be scooped up by Ruddy as he gets a puck stoppage with 8:09 to play here in the third. Score still 2-2 as the clock begins ticking down. North Bay 1-2 in this tournament with 2 points. Ottawa Myers Automotive 0-2-1 with 1 point. Both teams sit just on the outside. As mentioned in the opening, today moving day. 5-6 play, 4-3 play, and 1-2 play. 1-2. The next upcoming game, the Toronto Titans and the Waterloo Wolves. Here at 3:30. Sloan moves it to the point. Starcevic tries to knock that off the puck as Madge holds the line and will swing it down below the play. Bahari. He'll go with some nice edge work through the neutral zone. Bahari inside, outside, to the backhand. He gets taken down and goes hard into the boards. Bahari slow to get up, and as a quick whistle is blown. D'Souza goes to check on Bahari. He's in his first game back of the tournament. Bahari talking with the official as the face-off will come outside with 7:42 to go. He's back to his feet. Josh Daly and coaching staff wants the face-off inside. But as far as I believe, since it was his player who goes down, the face-off gets moved out. There's a look at Brad Smith and his coaching staff. Coach of Ottawa Myers Automotive. Brad Smith, a former NHL player for the Panthers, Kings, Rangers, Predators, and Senators in the National Hockey League. Puck squirts free, long pass far side. Fournier's got a 360 to try and get that puck as Melandra will slap it over the middle, hits off a skate and move forward for Surdog, but he has the puck stripped away as hacking at it there is Fournier. Sign up in the rush, he'll take it to the outside, moves it over the middle looking for Siegel. Couldn't connect on the pass. Sloan, long lead feed for Madge. He's working one-on-one. Seth Madge to the goal. He's taken down, rebound chance as the net comes off its moorings. Seth Madge, he can fly. He gets the chance in behind the defensive attempt of Francis Popke, the forward, the lone man back. Madge trying to work towards the inside. He's had a strong tournament, 2 goals and an assist in the team's first 3 games. Led the team in assists this season with 27. Only 5 goals this season, which is a surprise from what we've seen this week. As here comes Montroy. He's across the line. He fires a shot blocked in front by Presley Kelly. Carr boxes his man out as gets the strong stick lift on Starcevic, but Starcevic still on it, trying to center it for LaFontaine. But not the case. Long shot in, blocked in front. As good to see Bahari back out there. LaFontaine to Hanam. Over to Bahari. He fires from a sharp angle. D'Souza goes outside and corrals that one as LaFontaine getting into it with bangs. As here's the latest chance. Hanam moving that one over, and it was the sharp angle shot, and that one missing wide of the target. But it's covered up by D'Souza as he wants the whistle. He'll force the face off to the left side with 6:27 to play. Score still 2-2. As this one moved over, long shot in, will miss wide of the target. Madge chips it off the glass, held at the line. Sign on, backdoor feed, it got deflected in front by Fournier, turned away by D'Souza. Up high, Gravel across the line, Sign on, makes a move, makes one man miss, he fires a shot, rebound chance, puck still loose in the crease. D'Souza calling for the helmet, screaming at the official helmet. He finally knocks it off, as he was quite frustrated with the official, screaming multiple times, my helmet's coming off. Had a strap loose, he knew it right away. So to get the official's attention, he just knocks it full off. Smart play by the Ottawa netminder. As a proud partner, the Hockey Hall of Fame provides player of the game for all championship games. The Hall, home of the Stanley Cup and hockey at its finest. Souza making the necessary adjustments to his mask. He stopped 24 of 26 in this one. He had a 2.3 goals against average in the HEO this season with a 7-2-5 record. In the tournament, he's 0-1 with a 305 and an 897. Much stronger game here today. D'Souza back and ready. So are both the teams, as a firing shot off the draw by Siegel is blocked as here come numbers the other way. Melandra with Madge is a stick check effort there by Synot. Will redirect it into the North Bay bench, and a good defensive stick there to negate what would be a 2-on-1 rush with 2 of the most dangerous players on this Ottawa team. Something that seems to be the consensus around this tournament. Ottawa has some of the highest talent forwards in this entire thing. They just haven't quite found the success they've needed. Need to really keep the puck out of the back of the net. That was one thing that Brad Smith said before the game, was they've had issues there. They've surrendered 17 goals through 3 games. That's over 5 a night. Only 2 here today. D'Souza's played fantastic. Tetzlaff, he'll get to center, fire it in, and Ruddy will just quickly cover that up as Ottawa bearing down on him. 5:42 to play of an all-squared match. That was something that Josh Dale said before the game. These two teams very comparable. I'd say the assessment is right as we have a 2-2 draw. Shots nearly even. Ottawa with the slight advantage with under 6 to go. One flipped out as Kelly will hold, moves it over. O'Neill flicks it in far side corner. Carr on the chase. Synot directing traffic. He wants to start the rush as he moves it over. Montroy trying to carve through the middle. He's knocked off the puck by Bangs as the puck escapes the line. Here comes Hayes with it the other way. He'll chip it off the glass and in deep. Bahari to it first. Bahari will pop that free as it comes up the line. A big hit laid there as Hayes with it behind the net. Up top to the point. Melandra, he'll fire a shot up and over the target. Under 5 to play here in a tied hockey game. This will move down below the net as the centering pass is blocked away. That one goes up and out of play with 4:46 to go. Ottawa and North Bay currently outside the playoff picture, looking into the weekend. Ideally, both of these teams would love to come away with a regulation win. A lot to be decided here in the last 4:44. Working out the other way. Pass forward. Fournier, a shot. Shovel. Quick stabbing shot is covered up by D'Souza. As Fournier gets a little attention after the whistle. D'Souza not the biggest goaltender we'll see in this tournament, standing at 5'10", but he has been incredible. Quick reflexes, quick side-to-side action. Face-off tied up and will be taken away. His pin on the boards right beneath us is Siegel trying to fight it free. Puck comes free for Madge. Long shot in. Synot's attempt is tipped off a skate boot and wide. As working it out will be Sloan. Melandra trying to pick that puck up as a turnover. Melandra back in the offensive end. He gets bumped off the puck as Moyer. He'll leave it off Siegel to the outside. Fournier, long shot in, blockered away by D'Souza. Madge with it the other way. 4 to play. Madge to the outside. He looks for the centering pass. Not going to be able to pull one off as it's intercepted by Fournier. Fournier trying to get to center as he'll get it in the offensive end in a quick change. Hayes with the near side. Panam knocks him off the puck as Tetzlaff just fires it to the far side corner. Bahari, he'll scoop it up. Ottawa goes for a change. Bahari fans on the pass. He has the puck right back, but it's turned over as it's gained by Presley Kelly. He's looking for the give and go, jumping back in the offensive end as that shot's turned to the side, but Bangs backdoor feed. Great save by Ruddy as he denies Carr his second of the game. Quick offensive chance for Ottawa Myers as Carr sitting on the back door. He has the equalizer to this point. Scored his last goal late in the second period, his second of the championship. Kelly to the point, long lead feed. He was looking back door, couldn't fit it through a sea of bodies. Bouncing puck as Kelly will go in deep for it. Kelly behind the net looking for O'Neill. Montroy picks it up first, but Carr driving the offense forward. Bangs with it into the offensive end. He fires a shot turned away by Ruddy. Looking to push it on that far side glove hand, but Ruddy able to stretch out and make the save. Ruddy stopped 31 of 33 tonight. As Carr will have a quick chat with the official as we're ready to go again. Melandra trying to shovel it through on the back door. No one there in a black shirt. As Kelly moves it forward. Taken away by the Trappers in their own end as working it out. Synot on the attack. Backhand feed. Couldn't fit it through as Siegel was crashing on the back door. Long lead feed into the offensive zone. Here comes Ottawa Myers. Great save by Ruddy as he denies Melandra. Played right back into the offensive end as Synot controls. Jason Synot feels like he's played about 50 minutes tonight. Moyer over the middle. Taken away. Madge will work it the other way. 2:03 to play in regulation. Trying to squeeze it through on the back door. Could not as the puck comes free. As North Bay has numbers the other way. Fournier across the line. He'll get bumped off the puck as they'll just cycle it in deep. Popke to it first. They'll move it on the back end as Sloan looking to move the puck up ice. He'll be taking across the blue line. Kelly to the outside. Looking for the wrap attempt, turned away by the right pad of Ruddy. Puck's played over as Montroy scoops it up. Montroy into the offensive end. Great pass. Popke a chance. He fans on the shot. Montroy jamming at it at the side of the goal. Couldn't get a good stick on it. As here comes Ottawa the other way. Hayes. He's across the blue line. Leaves it off Bangs. Backdoor feed. Bouncing puck. They score! Ottawa takes the lead with 70 seconds to play. Bouncing puck in front, and Ben Carr taps it home for his second of the game. Gets it up and over the pad of Ruddy. Timeout called. North Bay. Wow. Ben Carr, his second of the game. And third of the tournament. Carr's goal assisted by Bangs and Hayes. Bangs, that's his second assist of the tournament. For Hayes, that is his fifth and second of the game. Excuse me, third of the game. Liam Hayes been fantastic in this one. Doubling his point total from the first three games. North Bay now. 70 seconds on the clock. Backs against the wall. They're going to empty the goal right away. Ruddy is on the bench. 6-on-5 for the Trappers. Montroy right into the offensive zone. Here goes Fournier. Shot turned away by the right pad. Sharp angle shot blocked away by D'Souza. Montroy jamming away at it, trying to get it in front as Popke gets pinned into the boards by Melandra. Bouncing puck in the corner as it comes free. Ottawa trying to clear the zone, but is fanned on. And now a chance for Madge to end it. He gets free, goes to the backhand. He scores! Seth Madge, the empty net goal. And Ottawa leads 4-2. The clearance attempt got fanned on, and then Gravel fanned on it on the blue line. And Madge, the strong effort, gets to the backhand and tucks it in the awning cage as Ottawa doubles the lead with 46 seconds to play. North Bay right on the attack as Ruddy back to the bench. 6-on-5 for North Bay. Siegel trying to work it free. Puck finally does come free as Siegel tries to get it across the middle. Puck clears all the way out. Bahari back to it first. He'll swing it over to Popke. Moves it far side corner. 22 seconds on the clock. Puck clears all the way out And a long shot from Wendell. It's blocked by Bahari. Puck comes right over the blue paint as we move back Bahari to the near side. As Popke swings it into the far side corner, and that will just about do it. Ottawa, Myers Automotive, what a time for their first victory. It's a 3-point victory as they move up the standings. 4 points now for Ottawa Myers Automotive here on Moving Day. A statement win against the North Bay Trappers. Final score, Ottawa Myers 4, North Bay Trappers 2. What a game it was. Ben Carr stepping up in the clutch. 2 goals late, the tying goal and eventually the game-winning goal. Liam Hayes, 3 points on the evening. As a strong effort from both sides results in an Ottawa victory. Now the two teams will get to take some time off, scoreboard watch the rest of the day, and see how the table falls. Heading into day 5 as player of the game, Scott Siegel, the captain for the North Bay Trappers. Player of the game for Ottawa Myers Automotive, the man with 2 goals. It is Ben Carr. Next on the docket, the battle between the number 1 and number 2 teams. 6 wins combined through 3 days. It's the Waterloo Wolves taking on the Toronto Titans live here at 3:30. We can't wait for that one, and we hope you join us here as well, here on the OHF YouTube channel. That's all from this one. Ottawa Myers Automotive final score 4-2 over the North Bay Trappers. We hope to catch you in the next one.
Stack on stack, rack on rack, black, back on back, that gon' clap, whack on whack, I so bad.